All right, it's a Friday forecast Thursday edition. It's a strange week. Nebraska playing at Illinois on Friday night. Now, Sean, coming off of this game this past weekend against Rutgers, what do you think that the Huskers can hold on to in terms of what went well for them?
Well, I think Nebraska has discovered the running game and kind of more of an offensive identity. The identity now is take the pressure off Tanner Lee and lean on your running backs, lead on your offensive line, and they did that. 44 carries to your 3 tailbacks for 195 yards last week of positive rushing. And then the defense. You look at this defense and the improvement they've made. They have steadily gotten better since that second half of the Oregon game. They've allowed just 17 points, Andy, since that Oregon second half, and under 600 yards total in 10 quarters of football. They're now ranked 57th nationally after being ranked 122nd following Oregon.
Yeah, in the last 10 quarters, the defense has given up 2 touchdowns. Tanner Lee has thrown for 3 the other way. Let's talk about Tanner Lee. He's had 9 interceptions, 3 of those going for pick sixes. He talked Monday about making better choices.
Yeah, that is going to be a big thing for him. And I'll tell you, the way Mike Riley has stood behind Tanner Lee, too, I think that gives your quarterback a little bit more confidence, because not every coach would back Tanner in the manner that Riley and Danny Langsdorff have, but they have had his back through thick and thin, through Phil Savage hype and pick sixes and everything else. They have stayed with Tanner. He's their guy, and they believe in him, and I think that was important because it was a pivotal moment, I think, early in this season when the Roman Coliseum wanted him out. They were ready to get him out. They booed, and they stayed with their guy and altered the game plan, and we'll see how that maybe changes things here going forward, and hopefully Tanner can bounce forward from that.
One of the things coming out of the Rutgers game is offensive line. I think they found some depth. Michael Decker, impressive in his first start at center, and Brandon Hymus out at right tackle played pretty well too.
Yeah, they're going to have some pretty tough decisions when everybody gets back. You know, whether Cole Conrad's back this week or next week, David Neville in that same boat, even Matt Farniak, because I felt like Michael Decker at center particularly, I mean, at times it looked like an upgrade. The physicality he brought, the approach he brought, and he was the scholarship guy they brought. And Conrad was a walk-on that's been able to just be the right guy, right time, and take advantage of opportunities. So in theory, Michael Decker should be this guy right now, and he finally got that opportunity to show what he can do. He looked great. Brandon Hymus, for a true freshman, might be as polished of a true freshman as you're going to see. I don't know too many true freshmen, Andy, that could step into a pro-style offense like he did and hold up. And it was Rutgers, but still very impressive for his debut.
And that led to a big-time running attack. They almost rushed for 200 yards, 197 as a team. And I think no matter what Trey Bryant does this week, I think Nebraska feels pretty good about knowing that not only Mikael Wilbon can spot him, but also Divine Ozigbo. They have something in him.
And even Jalen Bradley, they gave him 6 carries last week, and that's the key. If they think they can beat Illinois right now, which basically is last in offense and pretty much last in defense in the Big Ten, without those guys, and they can pull it off, all of a sudden you go to Wisconsin week and you've got an even healthier Trey Bryant, and even healthier potentially David Neville and some of these other guys. So this is an interesting week. Nebraska has to kind of roll the dice. Illinois has got a bye week going into this game on a that's another scheduling thing. You can go back to Sean Eichhorst. You agreed to play a Friday road game when the team you're playing has got a bye week. So it's not ideal for the Huskers in a lot of senses, but they still honestly should win this game, in my opinion.
Yeah, they didn't play. Illinois hasn't played a game since September 15th when they lost to South Florida 47-23. They have beaten Ball State and they have beaten Western Kentucky, but they do have the rest. What do you expect out of Lovie Smith's team?
Well, those NFL guys like Lovie Smith are always good off the bye. They have new things put in. They'll be prepared. I expect them to come out strong. Usually when you come off a bye like this, especially guys like a Lovie Smith, they will have a very good opening play script in that is well rehearsed. And so you've got to expect them to come out swinging early with a very good opening drive. And I think Nebraska has to handle that defensively and get some momentum and take the pressure off Tanner Lee in this game early. And then that's with the running game and the pass protection.
I think handling adversity, obviously a big theme for this entire season, but especially these last couple weeks for Mike Riley, not only on the field with the injuries, but off the field too, kind of persevering and compartmentalizing what's going around, swirling outside of the program to taking care of business on the field. That's going to be big for him again this week.
There's no question. I mean, just looking at Riley even on Monday, you can sense how tired he is. You can sense the stress in him. doesn't look as relaxed as Mike Riley at times, and you saw that in the game last week, even in the post game and during the game in the win over Rutgers. And there's just not a point where he can relax right now because the pressure is going to be on. Everybody knows the deal. When the guy that hires you gets fired, it's usually not a good sign for the football coach. And he knows that, and he knows the only way he can keep him and his 40 other people on the staff in Lincoln is win games. And it starts here on Friday at Illinois.
We'll see what happens Friday night. It's a Friday evening spectacle in Champaign. It's Nebraska at Illinois on FS1.